What is up, everybody? Welcome to Be Fair Sports Talk. I'm Dave, and this is Dad, and we got a new episode here for you guys. We're going to call it To Be Fair Mixed Bag Sports Talk. We have a bunch of new things coming out from the week from a bunch of different outlets of sports coming on. So we wanted to talk to you guys about them because, there's a lot of shit going on regarding team names at Oliver, training camp, preseason games. So we got a lot of things to talk about. We want to get started too. But first things first, we also want to make sure we get things out of the way with the schedule. Tuesdays and Fridays at noon, we are doing all our shows for now. Then when the regular season starts, we're going to be going to Monday morning fallouts, which is the game after the Bills play. It could be Tuesdays after the Monday night, and it will be Fridays after the Thursday night game. So it'll be accordingly, obviously, to whenever the games are played. But those are what the schedule updates are going to be. If you guys don't mind also liking the video and subscribing to the channel as well, it helps distribute the content to other Mafia members, so it'd be much appreciated. So, Corey, how you doing, buddy?
Well, what's going on? What's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Not too much. Some good stuff to talk about today, man. At Oliver, he got his charges dropped finally. And the thing is, too, a lot of people are getting mad about not knowing if he was going to get suspended or not because of the pistol. But you're actually legally allowed to carry a pistol where he was. And the only reason he actually got in trouble for the pistol was because it is only legal to carry a pistol there if you are already committing a crime like DWI or all those other things. So he's going to be walked clean from this, man. He's not going to have any suspension from the NFL or anything like that. So.
Yeah, those Texans have weird rules, man, like weird-ass laws in the South, honestly. And I think Ed Oliver knew his rights, and he's from Houston, so he probably knew, he knew everything. And the reason that Oliver was actually pretty mad on Twitter, it was yesterday, because he's saying that the police were being when they were talking, that they were not fair at all with him and lied, straight up lied. A report came out that he had a blood alcohol level, and he had none.
He had none. They actually I was reading the one report from the lawyer, from Ed Oliver's lawyer. They said that he tested 0.0, and the cop was adamant that he had alcohol in his system, and they smelled it on his breath, I guess.
So I mean, that could have been Chew. Chew kind of smells like that, and he was using a beer can as a spitter. And you know what? I'm sure Ed Oliver even tried physically showing him eat Chew in the can of beer. There was no beer in it. He blew a clean. Did the thing, pour alcohol and stuff, and it's just not right, man. It's not right, and I hate to bring race into it, but it's kind of ties into our Fromm video.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not even because where were they? Were Texas or Oklahoma or something like that? Houston, I think Texas or something. When you're in those countries or states, man, they do have a little bit of a stigma against them and stuff like that, already going into that about being partially racist.
It's not right.
On top of it, Ed Oliver being an NFL player, they're probably going to want to try and get some sort of notoriety from it, or try and say, oh,
we got money.
Or we got the money. We got the big guy. We got we got this star player in the jail now and stuff like that. Look at us. We did our job. Blah blah blah. And I think they were just trying to make their names look better by trying to arrest someone of a name that has a name attached to him.
Yeah, and one more thing I have on this subject is a lot of Bills fans and a lot of groups on Facebook and stuff, and all of you know who you are. Okay, a lot of these people were just bashing Ed Oliver and saying, cut the guy, trade the guy, like he's a problem, blah, 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 without even hearing nothing about the story. This is a prime example of media just completely running everything. Just because they read it that day, that now he was drunk behind the wheel, he had his gun, blah, 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 and it was complete opposite. It wasn't even that at all. And a lot of Bills fans just had these knee-jerk reactions where they just wanted to cut Ed Oliver, and he's a young kid. He's a young kid, and at the end of the day, this young kid never made a mistake. Because
he didn't.
Honestly, he wasn't doing anything wrong.
And I'm impressed that he didn't do anything wrong either, man. He's been such a vital piece of this team for this first year and stuff like that. You saw him progress and become such a big, especially the Cowboys game. You really saw him really power through offensive lines. You could see what he could really be. down the road, man. So I mean, I'm super thankful that nothing happened. I was unsure when everything happened how everything was going to go because of the whole pistol thing mainly. Because I know that like if you get caught with a crime down there, especially with the NFL, they are not going to play with you. They're going to suspend you almost immediately for having a gun on you. So it being legal there and him not having to worry about it, luckily, is a huge help. So
yeah, no alcohol level, nothing.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
he had nothing
I don't
wrong.
know what happened there. I think the
don't.
cops. I don't know. The cops there should be questioned. I feel that there was some.
Yeah, investigate them. Why not? Yeah, investigate them now.
There's no reason to sit
It's
here.
not right. It's
Yeah,
not right. And he's respectable too. Like he's constantly very respectful to people, and I'm sure the cops knew who he was right away, and was just trying to talk with them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he has his Bills gear on and shit immediately. You know what I mean? I'm sure you could tell who he is, especially being as famous as he is down there. He said he was super upset too because he had to call his mother while he's in jail, hearing her cry about what happened to him and shit like that. Nothing even happened to him, you know. So I don't know. I feel bad. I feel really bad for him. But let's switch topics here, man. Let's get into hockey. Actually, let's what is it? The Seattle Kraken. The new team actually is underway for the Seattle hockey team, man. So that's actually pretty exciting stuff.
Now, are they having a draft like they did for the Vegas Knights again, where one player
the draft,
team is?
They said they're going to have an expansion draft. Yeah, no, that expansion draft will not happen until the summer of 2021, I believe. So,
okay.
So the Seattle team will not be playing this year at all. If there is a hockey season from 2020 to 2021, there's not the Seattle Kraken aren't going to be playing then. They're going to be playing from 2021 in the draft of the summer of 2021. The expansion draft is going to happen, and then October of 2021 is when the official season for the Seattle Kraken is going to begin.
That city needed hockey all along. I've always felt that.
Well, Seattle sits here, and it's a great thing too for Seattle because. I don't know if here's a little history lesson I read up on. They sat there and they used to be the Seattle Metropolitans or whatever back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And the Metropolitans were their first original pro hockey team from the Pacific Coast Hockey Association, and they also became the first American team to win the Stanley Cup back in 1917 as well.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So yeah, and so when they actually brought this team back, they actually wanted that S logo to be a tribute for them. So it's actually really interesting stuff with the way they did this. I had no idea that Seattle had a previous hockey team all these years prior. Actually, it's a long time ago, obviously. Yeah, so I mean, it's cool. That was how they got their name known, like the logo, and they're actually also being sponsored by Kraken rum as well. So
Kraken rum. Oh, I didn't know that either. Wow.
The Kraken rum, the Kraken rum.
Kraken. You drink this and you'll be Kraken.
Yeah, no, so they're actually getting sponsored by Kraken, which is pretty cool and stuff like that. I think that'll help them out a lot. So their jerseys are pretty cool. They got like a navy blue, a like powder blue, and then like a baby blue. And then they also have like
powder blue is probably nice.
Oh yeah, and then they have like a nice red, like a nice little thin red stripe on the side and on the bottom too.
So what player on the Sabres are you dropping for the expansion draft?
No, I don't. I'm trying to think.
Tage Thompson go.
I would say, well, that would definitely be like a nice feeling. But who left for the Vegas Knights? Ennis, right? Tyler Ennis?
No, the guy that left for the Vegas Knights was William Carrier.
Oh, Carrier. Okay. Carrier. But it's exciting stuff though for Seattle and stuff like that, man. I'm wondering who they are. I wonder who the Sabres are going to lose though to them. But it's not going to be for a while. So who knows? Like what's going to happen? You know what I mean? Like would they want to get rid of Ristolainen then? Is that the way you get rid of Ristolainen?
I think that's too much value in Ristolainen there to just let him go to the draft. I think the Sabres are going to trade him.
Jimmy Vesey maybe. Get rid of Jimmy Vesey.
Vesey needs to go. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of players that I would let go. Kyle Okposo. I would let Johan Larsson go. I would let the whole two last lines of the team go.
Yeah,
I would let all six of them go, and then just keep your top two lines. You're barely keeping your second line because they're barely a second line.
Would you be okay with them getting rid of like Brandon Montour?
I want to keep him longer. I actually like our core on defense. This is our forward.
That's one of those players. That's one of those players that you might like that you could possibly lose though because they might not be able to keep everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're going to do exactly. They might be able to keep him, but would they want to keep Pilot?
I would let Jake McCabe go then at that point. I would just let Jake McCabe go and just.
He's a cheap. Yeah, McCabe's a cheap contract too. Yeah, he's real nice. So.
I don't know.
What is it? So let's move on to the next thing here too with the Washington football team. Their football team TBD is still going to be TBD for another year. I don't know exactly what to make of this, man. It's an interesting.
That's a dumpster fire over there. Like they're just a team that doesn't know what to do right now. They're just really a sad case right now. There's a lot more shit with Dan Snyder that's about to like drop and stuff, and he's a pretty sketchy guy, man. He's been there's a lot of rumors about him and things that I hope aren't true.
Right.
I'm not going to speak on that right now. It's a sports talk show, but yeah, some little greasy activity has been going on. I don't know, man. I don't know if Washington's even a real team at this point. Like they're
it's a holdover
it
name.
Seems
like
so bush league to me and corny.
Yeah.
Like they're just a team that like has no direction. Is Dwayne Haskins even good? Who's their coach? Like, who are their wide receivers? Who do they have on defense? Like, they're just nowhere. They're a nowhere team with a nowhere name.
This is like we talked about, man. This is just Tyrod of NFL team names. It's just a bridge name. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's just a bridge name, and that's all you can think about. You know what I mean? It's the unfortunate truth of it. And
I mean, why not use Sentinels?
I love the Sentinels.
I don't know. Washington's just messed up, dude. They're just a team that has a really piece of shit old head racist owner, and he's holding on to his team, and I bet people in his family are like, sell the team. You're embarrassing us. Sell the team, sell the team, sell the team. And he's just a really old, just like racist guy who's just like, he's like caught in his own ways, it seems.
Yeah, I know. It makes it frustrating, dude, because honestly, man, like you get this weird vibe when you when you hear about him and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like whenever you hear his name, you're just like, fucking Dan Snyder, and like what a dumpster fire he's led his team to. And like it is true. A lot of people that go there, man, they're just it's like the Cleveland Browns almost. Their career just goes and dies there. It's like the NFC version of the Cleveland Browns.
Well, yeah, Norman's career died there. Honestly, it did. Josh Norman's lucky he knows Sean McDermott because he has one last shot at this. And even Norman has publicly said it's really fucked up in Washington. They're like, their owner is clearly racist. Norman even spoke on this.
Yeah.
And Norman, like, there's one thing about Norman is he doesn't bullshit. He might be a very average to below average corner now, but the one thing about Norman I know is like the man speaks facts always.
Yeah.
He never like lies about anything, dude. He's a very straight forward corner, great veteran. He's a pretty nice leader, I think, honestly. And for him to publicly say on his Twitter that Snyder is racist, like he was there, like he has seen it firsthand, like that tells a lot, man. This Snyder, man, he's not a good dude.
No, not at all, man. I wonder. They're thinking about the Red Tails. I know they're thinking about the Sentinels.
The Red Tails. Oh, okay, the Washington Red Tails.
Yeah, it's for a black group of people that they flew planes together in a army. I forgot what war it was or something. I forgot. But it was a group of black people actually that flew planes and stuff like that, and they were called the Red Tails. So they're thinking about possibly calling them that as well. So what is it?
It'll probably have red in it though, right? Like red something.
Probably it should. I mean, they have
Red Barons. Washington Red Barons.
Maybe, yeah. They're keeping the same colors and stuff like that. So I'm guessing they're gonna go with something red. Maybe it'd make the most sense for them to at least stick with something red. It makes sense. So, what is it? Let's switch over then, man. To what is it? The NFL and the NFLPA. They all agreed to no preseason games finally, and the training camp and how you get in, I guess, to what they're starting to agree on is going to be really interesting. I guess you got to get tested for 2 days. And then the third day is when you can finally come in this facility or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of rules and a lot of crazy things that I'm not, that they're ironing out that we don't know about, so I'm not exactly sure, but they officially have agreed on no games in the preseason. And I think the only person that really hurts is the people that don't have any game film on them,
Yeah, I'm actually happy as hell about it. I mean, we have a team here in Buffalo where these guys have played, like, for the most part, they've played as a team for the past 3 years now. Mm-hmm. Most of them are veterans now on this team anyway, so they kind of know the playbook already. And it's like, if they have walkthroughs and a softer training camp and no preseason, I think that's going to actually help us because that's going to keep our guys fresh.
Yeah, Yeah.
and keep them uninjured. And I mean, they know the playbook. They know each other already. They've been training all through COVID and stuff. So I think it's turning out like the perfect storm,
Yeah.
really, for the Buffalo Bills, it seems like. Because, I mean, they're rookies, AJ Espinoza and Zach Moss and Gabe Davis. Like, I mean, yes, they're good players, but let's be completely honest. We don't need them to produce in order for us to win.
Right. No, we don't.
So, I mean, we don't really need these guys to step in right away week one and have prominent roles.
Mm-hmm.
So they can lighten their guys' load by playing all the other players on this team who have played in the system for a few years, lighten Zach Moss' load, lighten AJ Espinoza's load until about week 5 or week 6 when it's coming together and gelling.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, we're primed right here to have a nice, healthy, fresh run. If we can just come out of the gate week 1, like we're ahead of a lot of teams right now because of that fact. No preseason games and no training camp.
Yeah. No, I'm a big supporter of it too, man. You gotta be kidding me. None of the draft picks we really needed. I'm not trying to mean to Espinoza and Zach Moss, but we already had a number 1 defensive end that we were going to be fine with. We had Mario Addison, Jerry Hughes, Trent Murphy. We even have Daryl Johnson. We have Daryl Johnson as well, so he was just he's just a pick that we had because it was a luxury pick kind of. And, this whole draft board, we really don't need anyone specifically too heavily. So I think that not rushing them and waiting half a season, let them, they're not going to get the reps that they need right now. They really aren't. And they're going to look raw out on that football field playing against guys that are just going to be way faster and way bigger than them, and they aren't accustomed to that speed yet. They can do it.
Dude, this reminds me, this totally reminds me of the, pre-lockout hockey year in 05-06. Like, a lot of these teams weren't ready to play, but we were. Yeah. And the Sabres just came right out of the gate. This football season, we're a team with a chip on our shoulders because of losing in the playoffs last year. No preseason games, a weird offseason, a team with continuity who's played together. That just means so many positives, dude.
Yeah, it does.
So many positives for us.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see this team now. I think that not having games and the training camps being shortened or whatever, everything's going to help out the Bills and Sean McDermott and everything. So I'm excited, man. I couldn't wait more for the training camp to be done and finally regular season to come. The only reason it sucks is to maybe I heard that maybe not having the I don't know, if you're playing at a home stadium or whatever and you're having fans. The only thing I guess that kind of sucks about the preseason, not having a preseason game, is not being able to do your practice of the social distancing for the crowd and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
they're also suggesting maybe possibly doing an inter scrimmage game as well, maybe your team scrimmage or whatever, and try to have the fans there for that and see how that goes.
The blue and red game.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna, so obviously there's gonna be no fans, I don't think, in New York, but other states I'm talking about, other teams and having games. So there's just gonna be a lot of stuff that's going on. There's so many rules going on with different states and different, it's gonna be crazy to see if they actually manage to have this come together.
I actually read an article on that. I read that the Bills are actually planning 4 fans in the stadium later in the season in the event that Cuomo says that we're allowed to have fans. If our numbers are really low,
mm-hmm.
they're leaving it open for later in the season if we might have fans.
Oh, yeah. Who knows, though? Who knows what's going to happen, man?
Or on Cuomo, really. It's on Cuomo. So.
Yeah, so... Well, guys, that's going to do it for us. We wanted to talk to you guys about a bunch of different things that are going on in the sports realm this week. It's been a busy week in the sports world. I can only imagine how all you guys are feeling as well. If you guys have any reactions to anything as well, leave a comment down below. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to Be Fair Sports Talk. And if you guys don't mind, like I said before, just liking the video and subscribing to the channel as well. Have a good one, guys. Thank you so much.
Go Bills.
And go Bills, baby.